So today we want to answer the question, which of these two hatches is Instagram worthy and which one is actually camp worthy? Over here coming in at $35, I have a 14-inch ESTWING hatchet, been around forever and really easy to get your hands on. And over here I have a $135 Hultsbrook Swedish-made 16-inch hatchet. So I want to find out if the fancy name will match the fancy price, or does run-of-the-mill, jack-of-all-trade, budget-friendly hatchet outperform it? That's what I want to do today as we put these two hatchets head-to-head, so that you can decide if $100 more is really going to help you when you're out on your next camp trip. All right, so here we are back at the cabin, if you will, and we'll go through some specs on the head, and we're going to talk performance, get through all the nitty-gritty here for you in this video. So what we're looking at, again, is Swedish forged steel, which is awesome. You are looking at a 2.9-inch overall bit or blade. You got a nice convex grind. When I opened this and took it out of the sheath, this was like deadly sharp. So that was awesome to see how epically sharp this was. I mean, I could have shaved with it. And it's still holding a very good edge with that convex grind. Then you're looking at 5¼ inches overall head length, and you're looking at like 0.95 on the actual thickness of the head itself. And the ESTWING is going to be 3¼ inches, so a little bit bigger. It is drop forged 1055 steel. I don't know exact steel on the HB here, and that's what I'm going to call this guy. So I'm not trying to constantly, you know, bite my tongue off trying to say Hultsbrook or however you pronounce it. So this is the HB, this is the ESTWING. What we're looking at is 3¼ so definitely a little bit larger on the blade profile. You are looking at 5¼ overall head length, and then you are looking at an inch maximum thickness back here. It came with a decent kind of toothy edge. It was not great by any means on this, and so I took it to my belt sander for about, what's my Work Sharp belt sander, and I spent about 10 minutes on it and put a convex edge on it, put razor hair popping sharp on it, and it's been holding its edge just as well as this guy, doing the exact same amount of tasks. So that's very impressive. So they are, I would argue, similar quality of steels in their overall performance and edge retention with splitting, chopping, hacking that I have put both of these through, which has been like 3 trips and done enough for 3 fires. So the crazy thing is that this ESTWING easily outperformed its HB, much more expensive, cooler looking brother in every single way, which was totally unexpected, guys. That's pretty nice. Let's see if we can do that. Never mind. Holy crap, dude. Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Look at that thing. Oh, dude. You're gonna piss a lot of people off.
I know I am. Sorry, folks. You dropped $100 on a freaking axe.
Well, you're not. This is an opinion. You can see it working. This is proof.
Holy crap, dude.
Look at that.
Same piece of wood. Same exact piece of wood.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
And it's like effortless.
Wow.
Dude, there's so many people getting pissed at this
Holy
video.
crap,
Dude, I was not expecting that. I was expecting way more out of this guy over here, but it just didn't happen. And I will it's easy. It's easy to tell you why. The deal is that the shoulder on the on the ESTWING is much less gradual. So it's way thinner, longer before it hits back here to the back pommel, striking area, hammer area back here. So it's a much gradual, less abrupt shoulder, whereas on the HB, it's not that way. It's much thicker, the shoulder is wider, faster. And so this grind and just the whole head is thicker, which would be great for splitting, and I would say it probably did. It was the same or slightly better with splitting. The trick is that just to get it to bite in initially was harder because it's a thicker blade. The blade profile, the head and then the shoulder is just wider all around. I mean, you can just, let me see if I can line this up here. There we go. That says it all right there. I mean, you can just see it. It's just pure geometry. There's no way around it. So it was stunning. I mean, we were just like jaw dropped when we began to use this thing. And of course, we're like, of course, it's been around since 300 years. HB is gonna like kick the butt of the ESTWING. Yeah, that's, you know, like, yeah, it's great. You know, $35, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know, if that's what you need, cool. It'll do it. It'll do its job. But this guy is really the way to go. This is the Ferrari. And I got to tell you, it may look like a Ferrari, but it just didn't happen. I mean, I can't even believe it, guys. I'm literally like speechless almost. When it came to all the chopping tasks, it would remove stuff faster. Part of that also is weight. The ESTWING is 1 pound 14 ounces. The HB is 1 pound 9 ounces. So there's about a 5 ounce difference. Now, some of that is transferred into the handle, and you can feel that. So it is slightly more fatiguing, whereas this is all head heavy on the HB, but that was another aspect as well. So that every time I struck the piece of wood, deeper chunks, deeper bites happened every time with the ESTWING because of the pure geometry and the thinner shoulder. So that happened with every type of chopping, hacking, you know, anything like that. Then when it came to splitting as well, I was really impressed that I had to do a little harder striking, but it stuck in deeper, and I knew I was getting the job done like in my mind. Because I was constantly getting, you know, more and more strikes and getting it to split open. It took way more strikes for me to get the HB to bite into the wood initially. Then once it bit, it only took like 2 or 3 strikes to get it to split open. But because of the 1 or 2 misses each time, or that just the fact that it wouldn't bite in deep enough and then I would have to reset, means that the amount of time it takes is about the same. And with the HB just probably being slightly better in splitting. But I mean, other than that, guys, I mean, in every aspect, finer stuff as well. I'm thinking, well, maybe the convex edge, you know, do better in that, and you know, it's maybe a little more ergonomic handle with the head and how it's contoured. Nope, the ESTWING still outperformed that with feather stick making and making some shavings with your hatchet if you had to do that. So just stunning, with the performance and literally them holding the same edge, but the thinner blade outbeats the thicker drop forged natural, if you will, style hatchet that's been around forever. As we jump into the handles here, the HB is going to be 16 inches, the ESTWING is going to be 14 inches, and that's from top to bottom overall. Now obviously wood handle, hickory handle, mounted really nicely with a good ring in there. Haven't had any moving, the head isn't moving or anything like that. They've done a really good job with the wedge and all of that, seated very nicely. Good contouring all the way down. They do have some warning, caution stuff painted on one side, and then this has been, you know, burned in or something like that. That's not just paint. And on that side, good giant lanyard hole there. Nice swoop so that you can absolutely do this without a lanyard. It was helpful with a lanyard. But you know, you got really good, you know, grip and control, no shock or any issues with the ergonomics on. You can chop for quite a long period of time without it wanting to fly out of your hand, with the overall design on the HB. Now the ESTWING is that full tang construction, so very different, and that is going to add to the weight that we'll talk about here in just a moment. And then it has the leather stacked handle down here. So think of like old K-bar fighting knives from World War II, that kind of design, stacked in, lacquered. So it's got a good contouring, really nice, good swell. I really like that aspect a lot. No lanyard hole. That's the only kind of critique, is that when you use bare hands, it's going to stay in no problem for an extended period of time. But if you wear like leather gloves and you're trying to use this, you're going to have to re-grip a lot. So the best way that we found is either you can mess around, I don't know how wide the tang is down here, you could drill a hole in here and kind of mess with that if you wanted to, or the simpler way is just wrap it around the neck here a little bit, and then you have a lanyard that way. That's how you're going to see most of the footage, just to kind of give you an extra little sense of security, particularly if you are using leather gloves or cold weather gloves when you're out there in the winter time. But did not experience any kind of shock or issues in that way, which is a big plus. I heard some people kind of complaining that they were feeling shock through here. I never had that with all of the multiple days out that we use this, and have had experience with both of these guys now in that capacity. And obviously the full tang piece, you're never gonna have to worry about the head coming off, remounting a handle. So throughout this video, I will have links in the description below over to Blade HQ as well as Amazon. That's a great way to help support the channel when you guys do use those hyperlinks. So depending on which axe connects with you or Hatchet connects with you, by the end of this video, if you guys use those hyperlinks, we get a small kickback. I purchased both of these so I could give you this type of video. And when you guys use those hyperlinks, it helps us to continue to do what we do and purchase gear so that we can give these type of comparison videos and help you make your wise decisions when you're looking for hatchets or just gear in general. So I want to thank you guys so much for doing that. These are also able to be purchased at a lot of sporting goods stores, depending on where you go, particularly the ESTWING. I think you can get it at almost every hardware store known to man, particularly Home Depot. I think Lowe's carries them, and a lot of just your corner store, general stores will have this hatchet. So we'll hit sheaths here. Obviously the HB is gonna have a better sheath, nice quality leather, kind of a small belt loop here. You might want to run like a D-ring through there or something like that and do like a dangler option. You could probably get a 1-inch belt, but it's just pretty tight in there. Nice leather strap around it that keeps it kind of all into place. Loosen that bad boy up, remove the sheath. The ESTWING nylon, much larger belt attachment here. Decent, you know, I mean, it'll hold together for a while. Looks pretty durable. Button snap, you know, enclosed. You pull it through and you pull your handle through that way. So it's doable. I am going to probably try to upgrade to leather, either custom or see if I can find just a run-of-the-mill leather one, just to upgrade that a little bit. Well, my feeling on this hatchet is that if you want a ton of hits on Instagram, go for it. But if you just want a hatchet that hits the price and hits the function and been doing it for decades, go with this 14-inch ESTWING. You're not going to regret it. So I hope this video has helped you out, showing you what these two hatchets can do and what they can't do. And I thank you guys for coming over here today and just checking out the channel in general. If you're not a regular subscriber, I invite you to become part of the GT family and make us part of your regular YouTube experience. You regular subscribers, you're awesome. Thank you so much for your continued support. Check us out on all the relevant social media. That's a great way to see what's up and coming, projects we're working on. And finally, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.